All right, guys, welcome
Oh, you
back
did
to
start. Okay,
Bumpkin
hey guys.
Bros. Today it's Taylor and Riley back at it again, and today we're gonna go over. What are we going over, Riley?
Today we're going over every single Fallout game that's been released as well as that's been canceled, the ones that canceled, all the main ones. Wait, am I missing something? And the show, and the show,
And the show as well. So we're
and the
gonna,
show as well. So we're trying to get the whole Fallout franchise in this video here.
yep, trying to get everything in here at once, and I know it's a little bit goofy to include
I can't
a
see the
show
screen, but
into
I assume. Oh, I see. Yeah.
I know it's a little bit goofy to like include a show into a maker list, including like a bunch of games, but at the same time, it's like it ties in so well with the games.
Yeah.
That it's kind of hard not to like include it somewhere in there, because I mean,
Yeah.
it was really good. So I think they would be a good inclusion into the Fallout tier.
I haven't
list.
seen it yet. I can't lie, but I haven't seen it. So I know it's been really well accepted, but when we get to it, we'll get to it.
But all right, there's our tier maker list, and
It's on screen.
yes, it's on screen now. And as you guys can see at the top, I added the the goat test on there because a little bit of a Fallout 3 reference for you boys out there. And then the bottom of the tier is just Brotherhood of Poo Poo because
Brotherhood of Poo Poo.
I think
'Cause
we all know what
we
game
all
is
know
gonna go
what's
down
going on
there. So
Yeah.
but without
Yeah,
further
Chris.
ado, I think it's time to hop on into it.
All right.
what-
So who wants to
Oh,
start first?
That's tough. What game are you thinking about putting on the list first?
Okay. Well, I mean, if we want to go, do we want to start in order? Just start with Fallout 1 then.
Yeah, let's just go with Fallout 1. Let's go with
All
the
right,
OG
Fallout 1.
beginning.
OG,
There's no other way
the
to
one that
start.
started it all. Yeah. I mean, how
Exactly.
could you start anywhere
Dude.
else?
Fallout 1, honestly, I feel is really underrated nowadays. Like, unless you were there and grew up with it, which a lot of us
Yeah.
didn't. A lot of us
I
got
wasn't.
into the franchise around Fallout 3 or Fallout 4.
Yep.
And, excuse me, burps.
Excused.
Fine, I'm leaving. Unless you were in the game, like, there in the beginning. I think it came out in 1997.
7. Yep.
Yep. So, I mean, point and click, very different type of game than a lot of people
I'm a
are
huge
used
point
to
and click
these
fan,
days.
so I'm gonna have to play that game.
Yes,
That-
you are a very
yeah.
point and click person. But
I
it
love
is-
point and click games.
Honestly, I went through and I got like halfway through it. I need to go through and play it, the rest of it on stream because honestly, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you have to have a guide pulled up next to you nowadays.
I
if
was
you wanna
gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that those first two games like that, they're not hold your hand types of games. Like older games are not hold your hand. There wasn't like hints and stuff like that. You kind of just had to go on your own and figure stuff out for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and,
like-
I mean, a lot of it, like you said, there's no hints or anything like that. A lot of it's like, how does this even connect with this other thing? But
Yeah.
truth be told, Fallout 1 is really good. The story's amazing. I mean,
Music
it's what
slaps in
started
every
it.
game.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
ambient music really pulled it together. I mean, it was really good. I mean, I just you're a vault dweller, your water chip breaks, you got to go and get a new water chip. It's the basic premise.
It's not like this most insane story either. It's just a simple story, but it gets the job done, you know?
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it does a good job. And I mean, I like the Master. The Master is a good villain and very interesting. The story as a whole, I mean, it's what got it started. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna have to put it at. It's tough because I think that
If you like two, I think we should. If you like two more, no, which one do you like
it
more?
should
One
go
or two?
at B. Truth be told,
B.
because I mean, but at the same time, it's hard because like, how do you put something that is in, that
I know.
started it all, and we wouldn't have
Yeah.
the rest of it without it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so hard to rate that game because like everyone wants to put the first game so high because you wouldn't have any
But
of the
it
other
does
games
have its
without
fair
it.
share of flaws, and that because
Right.
of that, I do have to think that going in B tier would probably be the best spot for it.
Yeah, because I guess it's not a game for everybody, and that's for sure. So
Yep, and let's go on
Good.
to that's
All Out
tough.
2.
Let's just roll on
Fallout
over
2?
to Fallout 2, dude. I actually played all of Fallout 2.
You
and,
finished
like,
that one?
Yeah, I finished that one. So good, dude. It's like takes the mechanics and from Fallout 1 and makes it a bit better, makes it more refined, so it's not as buggy in different areas. I mean, don't get me wrong, all the Fallout games have their fair share of breakable game bugs that can make or break the game experience in better or worse ways. But Fallout 2's story, great, absolutely phenomenal story. I think it did a great job taking it.
Refresher. What was the story?
So the story is you're basically the grandson of the original Vault Dweller, and you get sent out to find a Garden of Eden creation kit, a Gek, a Gek, and so with that you basically go and you have to save your village because you're like having a drought and a famine, but then during that you run into the Enclave, and the Enclave is like big bad government, and they are like, yeah, we're gonna kill you, and they got the OG Frank Horgan. They kidnap your village.
Dang.
Frank Horgan's spooky. You got Vice President Dick Richardson. But
oh my
you
God.
end up going and nuking their oil rig to save the day and save your village, and that's basically Fallout 2's story. It's a really good story. I mean,
yeah,
it's really interesting.
That sounds really good.
It's the only
and I've also heard.
What?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the only Fallout game to have a car in it that you can actually drive. So,
you can't drive in any of the other Fallout games?
No.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. It should go in S tier just for that.
Although I guess technically in Fallout Brotherhood of Steel you take cars around to different locations, so I guess that's not entirely true. So point taken to that, but it's the mainline one, the mainline one.
That game was way more tactical though. It was more RPG-ish. Yeah.
There was a lot more like, because it was squad based and you had to like pick different people into it, and I mean, like, honestly, a lot of the story now is not canon. You got a whole different origin of the Brotherhood of Steel in it that's totally different, and it's a bit odd, but
also it messes up like the lore and the continuity kind of Fallout games. Let's go back to
Fallout 2, and I think it deserves A tier.
I was gonna say, I think it has more fixed on. The mechanics have been definitely fixed on and stuff, and I love point-and-click games, and it has the same style. It's probably the graphics, I assume, are a little bit better, or probably about the same. I think they're only a couple years apart.
Yeah, they're about the same, but I mean, like, it's still really good. So I mean, either way, those games are really known for graphical quality. Exactly.
I like the style it has.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has a very good, unique style. But we were talking about tactics, so let's just move on over to tactics.
Wait, we were talking about Brotherhood of Steel, or were we talking about tactics?
No, we were talking about Fallout Tactics.
Oh,
it's okay. So
we were.
The naming is so weird. It's Fallout Tactics Brotherhood of Steel.
And then there's Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
And then there's Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. But Fallout Tactics, it's mid. I mean, I played a little bit of it, squad-based. It follows similar formula to 1 and 2, but not quite the same. So it's just like, I think it's a solid C tier, to be honest.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a game that, like, unless you're like a hardcore fan, you're probably not gonna play.
Yeah,
most likely.
But I'm a hardcore fan, dude.
Taylor's a hardcore fan.
But we were speaking of the name confusion, let's get on to the absolute womp of this.
The poo-poo.
The poo-poo doo-doo Brotherhood of Steel. I've never played it. I don't wish anybody to play it. I've seen gameplay. It looks awful.
It looks horrible.
Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole, as they say in the Grinch.
Yeah.
It's the Grinch of the series. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
What?
Disgusting.
Disgusting. But I guess we can move on to some of the canceled games that ended up getting situated, because they ended up having the Fallout Extreme, which I don't know a ton about Fallout Extreme, truth be told.
Fallout Extreme.
And I don't know much about it in there because it's like
because it never came out.
You never know what they could have been. So truth be told, it's really difficult, because it's just like, how do you even rank something that you don't even truly know what it could have been or what it might have been or anything like that? And so because of that, it's just, I don't
It's
even
hard
know
to rate because
I
there
don't
was
even
never
know
any
what to
video
put 'em
footage
in
of it.
there as. It's just like because they didn't come out, I just have to put them as poo poo doo doo tier. Like, is
We
that
could make another. We could make another one called like canceled games or something like that.
very? All right, probably edited out all that weird stuff. Add in the post.
Yeah,
So, but we're back, and now we fixed our little dilemma with the whole we don't know where to put these canceled games. So now we added a final tier, the Shadow Realm. And
The Shadow Realm.
unfortunately, with all these canceled games like Fallout Tactics 2, Shadow Realm,
And Buren.
Fallout
That one should
Extreme,
go in S tier.
Shadow Realm, Fallout and Buren had so much potential, man.
Dude, that one could have been really good.
Could've
I wish
been
that one
so
came out.
good. But unfortunately,
We don't know.
Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm. No, not baby. No.
Fallout Brotherhood of Steel 2, Shadow Realm. And last but not least, Fallout Online, because Bethesda didn't want to have competition with Elder Scrolls Online.
Lame.
Womp. Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm. Bom, bom, bom.
All
I
right.
got through those canceled games pretty quickly. There you go. Because, like, what are we supposed to
What
say
are we
about
supposed
them?
to do about it? I mean, it's canceled.
Exactly. Yeah, they're canceled. They never happened. So. All right,
But
so
you know
that
what
takes
didn't
us
get
to-
canceled? Fallout 3. The new
Boom.
Fallout 3.
The
Once
one that
Bethesda
actually
picked
came
up-
out.
Once Bethesda picked up Interplay's, license because Interplay went under, womp womp, for the millionth time.
Womp womp.
But honestly, it's
Fallout
hard to
3?
pick- Fallout 3.
First game I ever played.
Yeah.
First game I remember playing as the. I believe you started as like a little baby in that
Yup.
game or whatever. I remember
Got
renting
Liam
that game from
Neeson.
Family Video. Liam Neeson. I remember renting that game from Family Video and being like, "What is this series?" Because I never played a game like this, where it's kind of like in the wastelands, or you're kind of like in the. Also, I love the setting of Fallout 3. Like,
Yeah.
it's really awesome.
The
really cool.
post-apocalyptic, like all
Yeah.
the DC area. I think that they
Exactly.
Although
Yeah.
they did.
It's not as good as some of the other ones, but I
Hey.
do have some heart to it. I'm kind of connected to it because of nostalgia purposes, I guess.
Honestly, it's a solid.
But it is
game.
still a solid game.
It is very solid, and it's a solid pick in the franchise. And I mean, I think the story is good. Your dad breaks out of the vault to go fix Project Purity to get clean water to the DC area. You have to
You need
break-
clean water.
Yep, clean water again. So, but
Oh yeah, that's the second time they've done that already. It's like the sixth game. They're already running out of ideas.
just wait till we get to Fallout 4. Just, but you have to find your dad, and then the Enclave comes, and they want to stop Project Purity, and you team up with the Brotherhood of Steel, and it's an epic showdown, and then you have to sacrifice yourself at the end unless you have the Project Purity, which honestly, that was really stupid. They were like, yeah, you have to sacrifice yourself. And you had companions
Sacrifice.
that
You
like,
had to sacrifice no matter what. I never got
you
to
had to
the games.
sacrifice
I didn't know
no
that.
matter what unless you had the DLC.
Damn.
Your companions would literally go, this isn't my choice, this is yours. And then they just send you off to die. This is your destiny,
my
not
God.
mine. It's,
No. So you're pretty
Um,
much forced into death no matter what. Damn, that does kind of suck.
but where would you put 3 overall? I mean,
All
that's
right, so what do
busted.
we have Fallout 1 and B right now, right? And Fallout
Yep.
2's in A.
Correct.
Okay, so Fallout 3, I would say it's probably it'd be
More-
right in that range, either B or A.
I'm
Or where were you
s-
thinking?
I'm thinking more B because it's kind
More
of like
B?
it's kind of like Fallout 1, 2, if that makes any sense.
I see
it's
what
like
you
the
mean. Just with
revamp.
exactly, yeah, revamped kind of to 3D graphics, but it's kind of a similar story and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
that-
yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think that B
Cool
is
with
a
that.
solid pick for that.
I think that's a good spec, and I think there's a couple better ones than Fallout 3 too. So
But hey, you know,
that we haven't talked
it's
about. That we haven't
still-
talked about yet.
For all you Fallout 3 fans, we think it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
very solid
It's
pick
still a
out
good
there.
game. I mean, it's still in B tier. So.
It gets dogged on pretty often, unfortunately, by the community, but it's solid. And then
Yeah.
I guess next up in line, if we're going by rank
Oh,
of year
boy.
and stuff like that,
We could make a whole video on Taylor just talking about this. We could go on. We could probably make like a 2-hour video about it.
I
And
try
we
not
still have
to-
stuff to talk about it
I try not
because
to
there's
be-
so much in this game. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all, but there's so much to talk about in this game. It's huge.
I really do try not to be too much of a Fallout New Vegas fanboy, but it's really difficult because it is, in my opinion, it's just it aced the GOAT test. There's no way
Yeah,
around it. It basically took the Fallout 3 mechanics, made it better. If they had more time, it could have been even better. But
which is
they already,
insane.
which is insane, but it was already such an amazing game. I really wish that they would consider making a remake of it or something like that, or a
Yeah,
remaster. Same with Fallout 3. I think that both games could really use a good remaster, and like the Fallout,
definitely.
they just did it in like the Fallout 4 style or something like that. That'd be great. But
I would totally agree with that. Yeah, because Fallout 4 is definitely the best graphic. Well, besides 76, but yeah, Fallout 4 is when they start to get to the current gen of graphics.
yeah.
Um,
But
yeah.
moving on from there, speaking of Fallout 4, I think that's what got
Fallout
me
4.
into the series was around
Yeah,
2016-ish. When the game came out, I saw that trailer. I was like, this game looks awesome. And
dude,
like,
I remember seeing the trailer for it too, bro, and I was like, "What? This is so cool!" Because I've always loved that style of game, like with the old music and I was like, "This is so cool!" And I liked how I believe the game starting like you go into like the bunker underground or whatever. You
yep.
have to evacuate the town. Now, I thought that was a really cool scene
I really
in the
liked the
very beginning.
pre-war, and then although
Yeah.
with the story this time around, you
Oh, what's the
have to
story?
find your son instead of finding your dad.
That's right, because you wake up in that tube and you see your wife die or something
Yep,
like that.
she
and you're
gets
like, what the
shot
heck?
by
Yeah.
by a cereal brand.
Dude, that shit. I was like, no, wifey, come on
Never
now.
eating
Because I
Kellogg's
just started
cereal.
replaying the game actually. Just started replaying the game recently because everyone's been talking about Fallout 4 recently. I was like, all right, I'm gonna replay it a little bit, and
That's
I don't know
what
why
I've
it got
been-
so. Oh, because of the show. Because of the show. That's why everyone's been
Yep.
playing it. Duh.
But honestly, I think that Fallout 4 is a solid A tier. The story is, you know, it is what it is. But at the same time, I
Great
think that the
mechanics.
gameplay is so good, and I love doing
Yeah.
settlement building, and the DLC is pretty fun. And I mean, I'm going through it all over again too, and I think that it's a solid A tier. I really do.
I
think it
100%,
is.
I'm on you with that. I like it more than 3 for sure. So.
And then Fallout Pinball, dude.
Oh, dude,
Freaking
this is my favorite one. This goes in S tier
goated,
right
dude.
now. Put it in S tier.
Goated. Pinball.
Unfortunately, never been able to play it, but it looks really cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would totally get a Fallout pinball machine. That would be sick.
That would be, dude, if they made the game as a pinball machine, epic. But
Epic, yeah.
Fallout Shelter,
Where'd you put that one? Just out of curiosity.
goated, dude.
Oh, I was kidding. That's cool though. I'm fine with that. Okay. All right. What's the next one?
How about Fallout Shelter? I mean, I think we all played
yeah.
this on our apps, on our
This
phone.
one, honestly, I might have the most. I might have the most time on this game out of all the Fallout games. I was never a huge Fallout fanboy growing up. So when this game came out, I was huge into iOS games. I remember getting this game, spending probably a little too much time on this game though, trying to level up my bunker and getting all those. It reminded me of Tiny Tower with all the people that would walk
Yeah.
around. I would always like that, how they're civilians, and I thought it was cool. I've always enjoyed that game. I think it's a fun little game. Not as good as some of it's hard to rank these against the huge scaled 3D games,
Yeah.
but it's still a fun game.
I'm thinking maybe C tier is a good spot
Yeah.
for it. About
Yeah.
middle of the road. It's its own little
It's-
thing. So
Yeah, it's fun. I wouldn't play it now today probably. I wouldn't re-download it most likely.
Yeah.
But it was fun when I was
it's
playing
fun to pick up and play once in a blue moon, grind it out
Yeah.
for a week or two, and then drop
Yeah.
it again. So,
it. Yeah, it's one of those games.
but last but not least, on the game side of thing, we have the 76 games.
76. Oh, I remember, dude. Because at that point, I was heavy into not heavy into Fallout, but I was listening to the news. Because I really enjoyed 4, so I was waiting to see when 5 was gonna come out. And I remember the disappointment when that trailer came out, reminded me kind of or maybe it wasn't when the trailer dropped.
No,
maybe it
the
was just when
trailer
the
was
game came out.
fire. I was so excited.
It was the
We
trailer?
had the West
I mean-
Virginia trailer, dude. West Virginia.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it was when the
But it
game
was-
released. Was
Yeah,
when all the
when the
negative
game
stuff started
released, it
happening.
was just a buggy mess. And
Yeah, it just
that
was not ready.
turned a lot of people off, and it's hard to rate it on that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, because they had a
truly-
bunch of DLCs and stuff too. But-
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I think honestly, base game Fallout 76, right when it came out, I'm
Mm.
thinking that's probably. But then again, we have to take into consideration kind of where it's at today too. So
Yeah, true.
I think because of that, I think maybe B tier for 76 is probably
Because
where
it
it's.
really did, like, after it kind of got fixed up and stuff, people did start going back to it.
Yeah.
People did start going back to it with
It's.
like Wastelanders, I believe it's called, and then
Yep. And
there was also a
there was quite a bit
you'll
of
remember it.
different DLC and different things that they added onto it, but they
Yeah.
next up I guess is the Nuclear Winter, which is like their battle royale mode.
That was the battle royale, yeah.
That's gonna have to go solid.
Never played that.
Solid
I was
B
about to-
tier.
It's just it's the only in it, like that is obviously they're probably only in it for the money at that point. It's
Quick-
like the in-game transactions or
Quick cash grab. That's all.
yeah,
that
quick
it
cash
was.
grab.
So-
Unfortunate.
But I mean, it is what it is. But I think
Yeah.
that the
Did you ever play
Fallouts. No, I didn't end up
No.
playing it. But it's not even around anymore. They discontinued it.
Oh,
so-
they did. Okay.
But Fallout 76 Wastelanders, where they actually added in like, you know, NPCs, those sorts of things. I think that kind of, you know, actually added a lot of life and a lot of oomph to 76 that it didn't have before.
Yeah.
So I think that because of that, I think it should go in B tier. And
Wastelands and do you have 76 in B still too?
Yeah, I think that 76 should drop down to C tier.
I was gonna say yeah.
And
Okay,
then
I agree with
Wastelanders,
that.
because that's kind of what made the game actually good.
That's what made it, people get back and trust it again, kind of.
Yeah.
Agreed,
Actually added in NPCs, you know, kind of the main thing of a Fallout
Right.
game.
That's like the huge thing of Fallout in general, and NPC interactions. Yeah.
Yeah. But last but not
Pete,
least,
boy Pete.
the
Oh
Fallout
wait,
show.
there's one more. The Fallout show. That's right. I haven't seen it yet. The trailer looked really good though, and I know everyone's saying like you don't even have to be a video game fan to enjoy this. So it's like I'm probably gonna after we finish this, if I got some time, maybe start episode 1 or 2.
I think it's good that you're here, else
You
I'd
guys are hyping
probably,
me up about it.
I'd probably say some spoilers, and I don't want to give any spoilers away for people who haven't seen the show.
Hold on. You oh,
No,
you're not gonna talk
give any
spoilers.
spoilers away, but honestly, I think it's a solid A tier. They did a phenomenal job adding like their own unique story that still fits into the Fallout universe, keeps canon, and like still in line. There were some things that had people like, this doesn't make much sense. The whole ghoul situation, how ghouls are made and sort of stuff like that, and how they stay from becoming feral is a little bit of an iffy topic. But I mean, truth be told, it's a great story. Had some cringy lines here and there, but every show
Yeah, I did
does.
hear the dialogue was iffy on some points, but yeah, every show does. It's like,
But hey, solid A tier. And honestly, I would recommend you go watch it. I binged it about a few days after it came out. Great.
how many episodes are there? Do you know?
It's one season, I believe 12 episodes, I want to say.
Okay.
8 or 12. I can't remember exactly how many.
Are they 40-minute episodes?
The first one's like a solid hour and 15, and then they kind of get like 45 minutes from there. So,
Okay, yeah.
but
Gotcha.
honestly, great stuff. But if you guys liked our tier list,
Let's go through the tier list real quick.
yep. So we
Oh,
have
sorry, I thought you were ending it. My bad.
we aced the ghost. The ones that are at the top of the tier list are Fallout New Vegas and of course Fallout Pinball. Where else is it gonna go?
Yeah.
A tier is Fallout 2, Fallout 4, and the show. B tier is Fallout 1, Fallout 3, and Fallout 76 Wastelanders. C tier is Fallout Tactics, Shelter, and 76. D tier is Nuclear Winter. Brotherhood of Poo is Brotherhood of Steel, and Shadow Realm is all of our canceled games.
But which we already went over that. We don't need to go. There's a lot of canceled games. So many canceled games in this franchise. Who would have known that? But
That there is. So, without further ado, if you guys liked our tier list, let us know what you would have ranked where, and in the comments below. And
yeah,
stay tuned for more. See you guys.
yeah. Peace out. Have a good one.